how am I going to build a marketing system that's going to provide me with predictable revenue on top of the word of mouth referral business that you're going to get. Hey, I'm Spencer Powell and welcome back to Builder Funnel TV, where remodelers and custom builders tune in to grow their businesses. Quick reminder, if you're not part of Remodeler Growth Community yet, head on over to builderfunnel.com, hit the community button, and we'd love to have you in there. Today, what I want to talk about is a trend basically that I've noticed over the last 12 years, probably worked with hundreds of remodelers and talked to over 1,000 at this point on the phone. And I was kind of thinking about basically what are some common things that I see. And one thing that started to really stand out to me is that a lot of companies get stuck right around the $1 million mark. And oftentimes it's between $1 million and $2 million, but right around that $1 million mark, and then again between like $2 million and $2.5 million. Those seem to be a couple of sticking points. And as I was reflecting back on why you get stuck there versus at higher revenue levels, and we'll do another video on that, but why do you get stuck at the $1 million mark or right in that 2.5 zone? And really what it comes down to is lack of marketing and having a strong marketing and sales system. Because honestly, at the $1 million mark, a lot of times you can get there just writing word of mouth and referral. And if you're in a bigger market, a lot of times you can even get to that kind of $2.5 million mark writing word of mouth and referral. And maybe you're doing some light marketing things. You've got, a website, you've got trucks and signage, and maybe you sponsor the Little League team. But you're kind of just checking the boxes on, hey, I have these things set up. It's not actual marketing activity with a real strategy and dedicated budget to really pushing some initiative. So if you find yourself stuck in one of these ranges, more than likely your main challenge is marketing and sales, and it's not operations, it's not hiring, it's not all of the other things in your business. It's really you need a machine that's going to drive more predictable revenue, because at the end of the day, word of mouth and referral, you're kind of hoping that you'll get that business every year. And that's why you see bouncing revenues right around like $850K, and then you might go to 1.1 million, and then you'll be down to 900,000, then you'll hit $1 million, and you'll kind of stay right in that range because you have enough word of mouth and referral to kind of keep you hovering in that range, but it's not going to get you past that hurdle rate. So what you want to do is start to figure out, how am I going to build a marketing system that's going to provide me with predictable revenue on top of the word of mouth referral business that you're going to get. So if you always get about $1 million in referral business, then you're going to say, okay, now I want to put marketing dollars in, and that's going to add, 300 grand or 500 grand on top of the $1 million. And that's how you'll start to come out of that. So the first thing that you want to do is look at, if you have been spending on marketing, look at those activities and see if you can track back any revenue, any projects to those activities. And if you can, that's a great place to start, because you can say, well, what if I just did twice as much or 3 times as much of that type of marketing activity? Then could I get twice as much or 3 times as much output out of that in terms of revenue and new projects? So that is the easiest place to start, because at this level, most of the time, there's not a lot of tracking in place or even a lot of marketing going on. But if you do have some activities going, you want to start there. And if you don't, then you're really starting from scratch in terms of saying, hey, I really need to build a marketing plan, lay it out for a year, and then execute that plan and track it. So then going into the following year, you can actually make some strategic moves, some adjustments, and you can see, hey, this actually worked. I'm going to do more of that. This didn't really work. Okay, I'm going to cut that. And yes, you can actually make it that simple. So again, if you find yourself stuck in one of these revenue ranges, most likely it is a marketing and sales problem. And a good place to start is by looking at what you've done in the past and has that worked or not worked, and then going from there. All right, guys, if you like this video or you found it helpful, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you next time here on Builder Funnel TV.